In the last video, we discussed the best commanders pairings going into Season 2 and Season 2 Plus. So what better way to continue this than discussing the best artifacts going into Season 2 and Season 2 Plus. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the best open field combat artifacts in the game right now as of November 2023. What is up guys, Meower here back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. You know I love discussing the meta and what's good and what's not good, so Season 2 for some players and Season 2 Plus for others on the horizon, it's important to know what the best artifacts are going to be for you to utilize and invest in. So let's just get this tier list started, but of course don't forget to drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and let's go. So of course we're going to using Tier Maker, our bread and butter on this channel for everything tier list. I won't be like ranking first CS and not. Instead, I'm gonna do is just rank everything accordingly as soon as it shows up on the file here. So let's just go. So useless. Phoenix Eye, always reliable, always nice. But we're gonna be putting it in the B tier in this tier list as now you have access to better alternatives and better options. Though, just a disclaimer, just because an artifact is placed in the B tier does not mean it's bad, or if it's in the C tier does not mean it's bad. It's just that there are now better alternatives for it, though there are some exceptions for that case, as there are some just flat out bad artifacts that will be put in the not usable category. So stay tuned for that. So basing off this logic, the Invisicloak will be in the utility section. Though it doesn't mean that it's viable in open scale war, it has its strategies where you can go invisible and destroy barricades, or go invisible or build barricades based on the situation. So that is why it is placed on the utility. Going off that, Tier of Arbonne, also utility. Just because an artifact is utility does not mean it's like be bad or anything. It's just that it's very niche and specific to a utility role more than anything. So Lucia's Horn, useless. Sorlin's Blade is going to be put in the C tier. There are much better alternatives out there. Viola's Bow is definitely going to be in the A tier, and for a few reasons. One, it provides a ton of HP, and two, while it does not do that much damage, this part of it where the damage targets are sealed, where they cannot cast artifacts for 10 seconds, you pretty much disable 5 people from casting artifacts for 10 seconds, which in a map such as this one, where fighting is so fast paced in such a small area, every second matters because everyone is just throwing everything at each other. So being disabled for 10 seconds can be a game changer. This book, I don't even know what's called. It's going to be put in not usable. Springfield Feather in the utility tier. Dragon Scale Armor, I would say, is better off in the A tier, or I don't know. The argument of Dragon Scale Armor, whether if it's in A or S, is always an interesting one. Though, in my opinion, having both Dragon and Greymoor's Hammer, which brings me here, I would just say from now on put Greymoor's Hammer in the S tier. Where is it? Am I blind? Greymoor's Hammer, Greymoor's Hammer, Greymoor's Hammer, Greymoor's Hammer. Where is this stupid hammer? What? Oh, there it is. I'm blind. Which I'm gonna just wait. Did I move it? Oh no. Oh yeah, it's in the not usable. I'm just gonna put it right here in the S tier, and the reason for that is because one, defense is a better stat on infantry than HP. Like I've tested out so many tries, Greymoor's Hammer versus Dragon Scale in 1v1s in the full scale war and everything. The improved survivability provided from the defense provided from Greymoor's Hammer is far more valuable than the range damage reduction when you grant it to shield, and as well as the HP for infantry specifically. Though this changes in a garrison, but since this is an open field artifact tier list, the logic still stands. Plus, the stun is always nice, especially in an open field fight where you can pick off people retreating or people engaging or whatever, especially in such a small corridor. So that is why I'm going to be putting Raymar's Hammer, the first artifact in our list, in the S tier, and Dragon Scale Armor in the A tier. Though, if you have a different opinion than me, please let me know. I would love to discuss it with you in the comments down below or in the Discord, which the link is in the description. I would love to see you all there. Next up, Storm Arrows. The Blink is going to be in B tier with so many choke points. You can just roll around the map, blinking and going over and bypassing all those choke points and just flanking people with a cavalry march. Book, useless. Breath of Gigantus, best artifact in the game by far. 32% defense break is absolutely broken. It benefits everyone, and there's just no downside from this artifact. To be honest, it's just the best artifact in the game at the moment. This, I don't even know what this is, but it's not usable. I think it's a gathering one. Kingslayer is going to be in the A tier. It has lost its position in the S tier as the go-to cavalry artifact since the introduction of Spring Blades, but we'll get to Spring Blades later. Shadow Blades, the good or reliable. I'm thinking of keeping it in A tier or putting it in B tier. I don't know. Let's just keep it in A tier for now till we finish the tier list, and then we'll decide where it might go in the end. This sword, useless. Bloodwing Banner, useless. Fling, useless. Axe, useless. Swifties, useless. Useless, useless, useless. Oh, useless. Dragon Rift, C tier, or the very bottom of C tier. Borderline, useless. Codex, useless. Useless. Fang of Ashkari, C tier as well. And this is actually not a bad artifact right now. Let's just keep it useless for now. Useless, 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 useless. Heart of Kamasai is a utility one, so let's just keep it in utility. Useless, useless, Goldcrest. Now, Goldcrest, I think, is an easy S tier from the amount of damage it does. You basically incapacitate a single march on a 1.3 minute second cooldown. Just too broken. The snare is OP. The damage it does is OP. The march speed it provides is OP. Everything about this artifact is OP. Infernal Flame, I'm leaning on putting it in the top of the A tier, but just shy of S tier because Breath of Gigantus is just so much better in general. It's just too much of a broken artifact for you to decide. If you're running a single Mage March, I would always recommend Breath of Gigantus. Though, as soon as we get more Mage Marches, I would say more rather strong Mage artifact Marches than just a single super strong Mage March and two decent. I would say Infernal Flame might work its way up to the S tier. But till then, Breath of Gigantus is going to be the go-to S tier. Next up, Visage of Sanctus is a pretty much utility, borderline useless artifact, because you never want to run Thea in the primary position anyways, and they're just better alternatives in general with her pairings. Karatas Wrath, useless. Magic Bomb's gonna be top of the C tier. It's still a very strong artifact in general, and it's super useful to this day from the amount of damage it does, especially as an epic artifact. Next up, Oath of Stormpeak, the most worthless artifact in the game. I honestly don't know why anyone would even invest in it. Building, useless, useless. Rattle Spear. Rattle Spear, in my opinion, is also another S tier from the passive itself. Like, if you exclude the damage and just think of the value you get from the passive itself, it automatically makes sense to put it in S tier, and I wish I got that artifact. It is definitely my next go-to to get, plus the single target damage it does is actually pretty insane and pretty strong, so overall, just one of the best artifacts in the game as well. Mandel, useless. Springs of Silas, useless. You have Dragon Rips, which is a better alternative. Spring Blades, easy S tier, absolutely broken, does insane amount of damage, provides a lot of utility for your march. Just no downsides from running this artifact in general. And then Staff of Spring, useless. Staff of Prophet, a nice utility artifact, especially if you can know how to bypass some of the stuff, and then you can send a march in, use it, transport your units in, get out, and so on and so forth. It opens up the possibilities for a lot of strategies in general, but other than that, it is strictly a utility artifact. Finally, Wolf Woman of Halar. Now, this artifact has been picking up a lot of traction lately, and I'm tempted to put it in B tier just because of the strategies you can pull off from it, though. It is not really that viable in a mass scale open field war, but just from the utility it provides and the strategies it opened up, I'm tempted to keep it in B tier, as there is a few tricks you can do with it that pretty much gives you the same blink as Storm Arrows on a much lesser cooldown. In my opinion, this is probably what the tier list is going to look like. I think I'm going to bring down Shadow Blades to B tier now that I think about it. I don't want too many A tiers that just that have better alternatives. Though, let me know what you think. This is pretty much my tier list going forward into season 2 or season 2 plus, whichever you're going for. Do you agree? Do you disagree with some of the choices I've made? Do let me know. I would love to have a discussion with you, and maybe if you're right, then I take back my words, and if I'm right, then it is what it is. The meower is always meowing, baby. I don't know why I said that, but whatever. And yeah, I think that's it. I will be posting this on my Discord as well, so if you want to check it out, feel free to join. The link is in the description, and I would love to interact with you all there. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe, join the Discord, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow!